And welcome. If you're here, we're talking about success and having God in the center of it. Because God, who is our maker, has not put us on earth to just live life without his guidance. He designed us, he makes us, he sustains us, and his ultimate goal with us is to achieve what he designed us for. Every designer does that, right? There's no one who designs a bottle and says, I hope it is a terrible bottle to use. I hope it leaks. I hope it never works. Nobody does that. So God has equipped us and designed us for specific purposes, and he empowers us in this earth to achieve those purposes. And your success is of importance to God. How do we know that? We see him consistently give us tips, leadership tips, success tips, tips for finances, relationships, for good health. So many tips in his word, especially the book of Proverbs. And so this month we're covering the book of Proverbs, and today we're in Proverbs 8. Now in Proverbs 8, God is offering to train you. If you're a person of ambition, you want to achieve good things, great things, and want to make an impact, you want to earn more, you want to take care of your family, take care of everything that concerns you comfortably, then God has something to say to you in Proverbs. And in Proverbs 8, God is offering to train you. God is offering to teach you, coach you, and guide you through life. How? Through wisdom. So most of the times we think, I don't know if it is you or it's just me. I would always think that if God wants to lead me, there'll be something mysterious. It'll just happen. I'll pray, and in prayer, something will just come to me and I'll be like, yes. But over time, I've learned that God doesn't work that way. This is why God is big on his word. He says, renew your mind. He calls you to spend time in his word. Remember the word. Use the word. Apply it to your heart. He told Joshua, one of the most successful people, who moved from being an assistant to a president or to a leader of a people, to now being the actual leader. You know that if you're an assistant, it doesn't mean you'll be next in line, right? But he became next in line. And God told him, if you want to succeed, you have to keep this book of the law. Know these laws, know my commands, know my instructions, keep them in your heart and apply them, and you will be successful and you achieve beyond what you're expecting. And he's saying the same to us. And Proverbs breaks it down nicely. And God's number one way of coaching us and leading us is for us to understand that we need wisdom. And he says wisdom is available. Wisdom is not hidden. Wisdom is not something you have to dig and search for. And maybe you might find it, maybe not. No. Proverbs highlights that in Proverbs 8, it says wisdom is available. It's placed strategically in different places, in places where you find it, like places where you go, in your offices, in your homes. It's there. Wisdom is available. It's calling out to you. God is eager to have your attention, to teach you, to train you, to achieve the purposes he has for you, to achieve success. And so he calls you in. Come in, I want to tell you something. So God is using wisdom. He's saying wisdom is calling out to you. Wisdom is crying out to you. It's calling out to people who need wisdom. Now, sometimes, because of how we're trained in this world, we think that to qualify for good things, even to qualify for things with God, you have to be a certain level of maybe understanding, of expertise, of excellence, of quality in your output. You have to be a certain type of qualified to achieve things or to get into certain rooms. But with wisdom, with God's training, he's not going like, okay, you have to be this or that. No, he says, come. If you are simple means you're not intelligent, you're not wise. And we can see that by the mistakes we make, the decisions we make. And you might say, no, I am intelligent, I am wise, but we have room to learn in different aspects of our lives. Some of us need to grow up and mature and get strong in our faith. Some of us need to do that in our finances, others in their careers, others in different aspects of our lives. And God says, come. He's looking for you who is struggling in that area. He says, come. The training is not for people who are qualified, who are doing well. The training is people who need him, people who desire a new level, a new elevation in their lives. And that is really, really wonderful, because most of the times, even if you're trying to get a good university, you have to put your best foot forward. If you're trying to get a good job, sometimes you have to speak nicely. You have to embellish yourself. You have to use the right words. With God, it doesn't work that way. He says, if you want me to train you to find success, just come. Make yourself available. And for me, that is a blessing. So wisdom is looking for you. And wisdom is crying for you. It's actually wants you. Yeah, so the way God made us, he designed us with an operating system for success. That operating system is wisdom. If we choose to operate outside wisdom, we might find whatever we find, but it won't be fully what God designed. This is why people can find success and be burnt out and be depressed. People leave good jobs, good businesses. They're not happy. You think you have money, you have everything. You should be feeling great. You should be fulfilled, but they're not, because our fulfillment is found in God alone. He's the one who designed us. He put this operating system in him, and it works. And when we align to his will. And so what does God want from us? He's saying there's wisdom is available, it has all these benefits, but he wants you to do something. He doesn't want to just say, okay, I'm going to bed now, give me wisdom, Lord, yay. No, he has requirements, and number one requirement is that you have to listen. That's something he has repeatedly said in the word. Listen. In Proverbs 1 to Proverbs 8, right now, God has been saying listen. Because in this world, there'll be distractions that will take you away from listening to God. There will be competing things, competing policies, competing mindsets, that when you hear them, you think, this makes sense. There'll be temptations that look attractive and that make you think, you know what, I just do this. And God says, no, you have to listen to me. Give me your attention. Pay attention to me. Make time in your busy schedule. Make time in your life. Make room so that you can hear and listen to God and pay attention to him. That is your number one way to be trained by God. Number two is you have to avoid wickedness. He says wickedness is an abomination to God. So wickedness is just you doing the right thing. You have to have some standards. Don't be a person who's like everything works. And I see this a lot on social media in our generation, where we're like, as long as they're giving me money, okay. As long as they're giving me the bag, okay. No, God doesn't work in that kind of space. You have to have values. You have to have standards. And he has clear standards in his word. So you can't just go, the world now thinks this is right. Now we're doing that. No, yes, tomorrow everyone thinks this is the right way and you're doing that. You have to have a solid foundation of his word. So you have to hate wickedness and love righteousness. And God works with that heart that is willing. And it doesn't mean you'll be perfect. You might feel like you don't measure up for one reason or another. But God says, be available and he'll train you. He'll change your heart. If you are listening to him, if you are making time in your schedule, he will even change your heart from a heart that desires and enjoys wickedness to a heart that desires him, that knows him and desires a whole set of different things. And then he also says you have to trust him. So when you find the word of God, sometimes it's hard to trust the word. I remember going through Proverbs 31 and thinking, I'm not doing this. This advice is just to put me in a place where people can take advantage of me, or my future spouse can take advantage of me. That's how I used to think. I couldn't trust the word because I couldn't let go of my fears. I was holding on to my fears and my ideologies and mindset. I was like, no, this is too much. It's putting me in a weird place. So many things that you find in the word of God as you're seeking wisdom and understanding will contradict the things that the world holds up as valuable. And that is a call for you to trust God, to know that he's trustworthy. So in Proverbs 8, God highlights that he doesn't do abomination. He doesn't do perversity. He doesn't do evil. He walks the path. He walks in justice. And so you can trust him. You can rest in him. You can see an instruction and not get it, but know that, you know what, I will do this because the one who has given me this advice wishes me well. The one who has given me this advice has seen the end from the beginning and knows the right path for me to take. So you have to learn to trust God. And trusting God goes as you give him your attention, as you spend more time with him, it grows. Yeah, because you can't trust a God you don't know, and that's okay. So God won't start today by giving you a big task. He will work with you on the journey so that you can learn to hear him and then to trust him, and you build that relationship. As long as it is progressive, you will grow and you'll get to a place where you can fully trust God if you're willing to let him train you. Another thing is that you have to seek diligently. That is just anything that you want to do well in life, anything, you have to seek diligently. The advantage of seeking God diligently, though, is that it affects every aspect of your life. If you seek your health diligently, you'll be healthy, you'll be strong, but there'll be gaps because that's just your health. How about your finances? How about your relationships? How about your future? How about opportunities? There's so many gaps you can't fill. So God says, seek me. Seek me diligently. Seek God with all your heart, and all these things will be added unto you. That is a strategy. It simplifies life. You don't have to worry about things you can't control. Lots of stress and depression is because there are things on our table that we can't control. We don't see tomorrow. We don't know where to have hope. We don't know how to maneuver. We don't know what to do with the political changes. We don't know what to do with financial changes. We don't know what to do with geographical changes and everything that's happening around the world. But God does. So when God says, seek me, don't worry about everything. Just seek me and all these things will be added unto you. That lessens a burden on you. And if you can go to that place where you're diligently seeking God and you're knowing that your one thing is to wake up and trust him. Your one thing is to wake up and speak with him and consult him and say, Lord, which bus should I take? Start with simple things like that. Lord, which way should I use? Lord, how can I be more patient with this child? They are trying me. Lord, can you change me? Like, walk with him step by step. Seek him diligently. You know how people seek football diligently? You know how people seek food diligently? You know how we seek our careers diligently? That same energy, bring it to God. You might not start at 100%. Start from somewhere, wherever you are. Bring even that desire and say, Lord, I want to seek you diligently. I can't do that. I don't have the energy for it, but help me. And God will help you on that journey, but you have to earnestly desire him. And he says that if you seek him diligently, you will find him. you don't find God by just being half-hearted. You have to desire him. So he says, if you want to be trained by God and live your biggest success and the fullest success you could have, then you have to seek him diligently, and you have to love. You have to love these laws, love his instruction, love wisdom. It says, embrace her, embrace wisdom. That means you just keep it close. Keep it close. Don't be too far from the word. Don't be too far from the truth. Don't be like, how far can I get to sin? I used to live that way. When I was in uni, I was like, how far can I get to sin before it becomes like a thing that bothers God? Like, I'm not going to live in it, but I could just visit it maybe with one leg and stuff like that. Maybe dance to sin whilst eating on God's table, or eat on the sin's table whilst dancing to whatever. Like, just being double-minded. God doesn't work with double-mindedness. And he says a person who is double-minded in all their ways will not achieve anything. They can't hear God. They can't walk with God. They won't live fully for the world. They won't live fully for God. Peek aside and decide to walk in it. Yeah? So God. Okay, trying to cancel the call here. All right. Now, why wisdom? Why does God want us to walk with wisdom? So there are benefits of wisdom. And these ones they're just fire. I know that when we are talking about Christianity, we like to say that, oh no, God doesn't like material things. With God, it's all about your heart, and it's deep. And sometimes you feel like you have to sacrifice everything and become poor for you to have righteousness and to honor God. But it's very interesting when you go into the book of Proverbs, especially the one we're reading, Proverbs 8, you see God is saying, these are the benefits of wisdom. He calls us to get wisdom. He calls us to get understanding. He calls us to get discretion and knowledge. And he says, if you get these things, you see things differently and make better decisions, and you achieve your fullest potential. But then he goes on to say the benefits of wisdom. Now, he says wisdom is understanding. And I was thinking, what are the benefits of understanding? Understanding helps you excel with your money. It helps you excel with your relationships. Understanding helps you excel in whatever space you're in your career. If you understand things, if you have a perspective that is deep about everything that is around you, you will excel in that. So wisdom brings you understanding. Wisdom brings you strength. Strength, literally, your ability to just be strong and healthy. Wisdom brings you that. Wisdom brings you dominion. You're able to reign and rule. It says by wisdom, kings rule and they reign. That means you're not just existing in a space, you're dominating it. If you have a business, you're not just existing as a player in the business, you're dominating it. If you are in a career, you're not just existing there, you're dominating, you're growing, you're becoming, you're reigning. That was God's original mandate. In Genesis, it says, go into the earth, fill it, multiply, and dominate. So you have an area of jurisdiction in your life where you're supposed to dominate, and wisdom is your partner in that. And then there is also, she'll give you riches and honor. For me, I was like, God can give you riches and honor. His parameters for giving you riches and honor are different from the world's. It's not creepy riches. It's not dishonest riches. It's not quick riches for you to just like, okay, cut corners and get it. No. He says enduring riches. They call it enduring riches. That means there's riches that don't endure. It says enduring riches and honor. And she says she looks up to those people who love wisdom. Wisdom looks for people who love her and wants to fill their treasuries to abundance, fill their bank accounts, fill their resorts, fill their storage houses, fill their silos, fill them. That's what wisdom wants to do. And then it brings you to righteousness as well. Without righteousness, you can't communicate with God. So therefore, you won't be able to get intel, strategies, and even just live a meaningful, purposeful life without wisdom. So those are the benefits of wisdom. And if you see them, they exceed what the world can offer. And in this chapter, it's actually clearly stated that if you want, if you compare wisdom with wealth, worldly wealth, if you compare wisdom with silver and gold, you find that wisdom exceeds it. And it says with wisdom, you obtain favor from God as well. And we all know we can use that favor because that favor is the one that opens doors. Yeah, you are there minding your business and the door opens and you're like, what happened? You're sitting with somebody, you just speak to them and you didn't know that person is the CEO of something, and that changes the game in your life. There is favor that comes with God, but it actually comes through this path of wisdom. And says those who find wisdom find life and receive favor from God. And it ends with a warning, basically, to say that if you miss wisdom, you are going to hurt your own soul. It doesn't say you hurt your finances. It doesn't say you hurt your health or other things, which you might do and you probably will if you don't walk in wisdom. But it says you hurt your soul. Your soul is where your mind, your will, and your emotions are. You'll be depressed. You'll be purposeless. You will not operate at your best. You will not be excellent. You will hurt your soul. You hurt the deeper you if you choose not to operate in wisdom. And it says that if you hate wisdom, if you deny wisdom, then you're just choosing death of your finances, of your health, of your different aspects of life, of even your spiritual life. So this is a call. God is saying, I want to train you, but you have to let me train you. And if you want God to train you and help you get all these benefits, help you elevate and achieve big things in life, it's not going to be a shortcut. God is interested in your heart. God is interested in everything that concerns you. But if you choose God's way, you will exceed your expectations. You'll be able to even cultivate things within you that you didn't know you had. Sometimes you're working a job and you're like, how can I do this? How am I doing this? How did I get myself here? And you can just say, glory be to God, because he is a good God and he's faithful to those who trust him. Right? I hope that was helpful for you. Please read Proverbs 8. It is just fire, and share your thoughts from it. And if you want to just follow through all these videos, I have them on my YouTube channel. There's a link in the bio. Thank you for coming, and I pray God continues to bless you, to teach you, to train you. I pray that you'll continue to give God your attention, or start to give God your attention. There are a lot of misconceptions about God, honestly, about Christianity, about everything. And most of us can have answers and solutions through that same path of God and Christianity. But if we seek God for ourselves and we stop just receiving secondhand information about God, like, oh, I heard somebody say this, oh, a pastor says, a man of God, a prophet. God is looking at you and your heart, and you have responsibility before him. You have been given gifts before him, and he expects a fruitfulness from you with what he has given you. You give an account to God. So take God seriously. Give him your attention. Start wherever you are, and he'll meet you there. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.